recognize my very good friend, Mr. Lamborn from Colorado, who has really taken the lead in an appropriate response from our House. I yield.
I want to thank the gentleman from Texas for his leadership in getting this time tonight so that we can talk about this important issue. Mr. Speaker, last week we learned something shocking and appalling. The Iranian government wants to appoint a terrorist as their ambassador to the United Nations, a man who assisted in the 1979 terrorist attack on our embassy in Tehran, a man who helped hold American diplomats hostage for 444 days. This is a man that the supposedly moderate new government in Iran wants to represent Iran on American soil in New York City. This is unconscionable and this is unacceptable. It is time for all of us to speak up with one loud and unified voice against this injustice. Amazingly, at this moment, the President of the United States does not have the legal authority to keep this man off of our shores. The President can deny visas to diplomats if they've been caught spying on ourselves or our allies, but he can't keep someone out of our country if they are a terrorist. They can be admitted as a diplomat and get a visa. Last week, Senator Ted Cruz and I introduced legislation to fix this problem. Our bill would give the President the authority he needs to do the right thing and to deny this man a visa. Senator Cruz received strong support from Democrats in the Senate, like Senator Chuck Schumer of New York. The bill passed the Senate unanimously last night, 100-0. How many issues passed the Senate 100-0? I'm working here in the House to quickly move this bill forward so that we don't have an Iranian terrorist walking the streets of Manhattan with diplomatic immunity. It is mind-boggling, but if Osama bin Laden himself had been named an ambassador to the United Nations by somebody, the President would not have had the legal authority to deny him a visa. We've got to fix it, and that's why this legislation is before us. The Cruz-Lamborn legislation would give the President the ability to do the right thing and to deny this Iranian terrorist a visa. Time heals some wounds, but time should not cause amnesia. Letting this man into the country with all the pomp and circumstance of diplomatic immunity would cause pain to those who were hostages. It would jeopardize the safety and security of this nation. So I urge my colleagues to support this legislation and for House leadership to move it quickly to passage as soon as possible. I want to thank the gentleman from Texas once again for taking leadership and bringing this issue to the attention of the American people through this time here on the floor tonight. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back to the gentleman from Texas.
And I thank my dear friend from Colorado. In fact, when I heard that such an outrage was being suggested, I said to my staff, we got to do something. And I was told, and I should have suspected, my friend Doug Lamborn from Colorado was already out there. He already has a bill, H.R. 4357, and I was brought a dear colleague letter accompanying that, and I said, we've got to help our friend do what's right for America. Was pleased that Ted Cruz was able to get that pushed through in the Senate, and it shows, frankly, it shows there's still hope for the Senate. That's encouraging.